morning, good afternoon, good evening, hello creepy friends, welcome to Nixie Bob's. If I'm off centre, I greatly apologise. So we're here today to talk about the latest episode of Thunderbirds that was on the Saturday just gone, which was it the 22nd? Yes, it was. I'm losing track of days. So you'll probably notice that there's something missing in this room today. The bed. So I'm going to pan the camera down. So that's my bed right now. A mattress on the floor. This was also the reason we did not record yesterday. Sunday night was TLC, which was WWE, so of course I sat up till like 4 watching that. I hadn't watched the episode by that point because I've been various places, I've been at work, I just hadn't had the time. I did catch the end of it on the Saturday. And to be honest, knowing what one it was and knowing how we're going to go into this in a little while, I was like, you know what, it's fine, it'll be worth the wait. So I thought, right, okay, I'll watch it when I get home and I'll record it Tuesday. Also, let's also be told I'm doing a 2-tier cake this week, so that's also completely, it's not an inconvenience, but it's an inconvenience to YouTubing. So that was also on the cards. And I thought, okay, well, I'll watch it Monday, I'll do it Tuesday. So I came home Monday and was so tired that I just crashed out. So I thought to myself, right, okay, I'll watch it Tuesday. So Tuesday evening, I came home from work and I sat down excited as hell watching it. I was just like a giggling little kid, we'll get on to that. Thought, okay, I'll record it Wednesday. I'll have enough time. I'm only baking. It'll be cool. So Wednesday morning I wake up. I've set the alarm because I woke up way too late on Tuesday. That was another reason why not. And I'm sitting in my bed just reading my iPad and suddenly go boom. And I'm going, oh crap, what was that? So I jump out the bed. My headboard's diagonal. So my bed takes up the whole side of this. And the floorboard down here has always been a little bit weird. It's always been a bit lower, but it hadn't been an issue, so I just kind of left it. And apparently the floorboard is essentially gone. And I am now having, I had to deconstruct my bed for safety purposes, because obviously the bed was resting right on said board. So literally I have a headboard here, the baseboard is in another room, and the middle of my bed is in another room. Every box I had under this bed has had to go outside somewhere, and I'm kind of losing track of everything going on now. So I apologise for the lateness, but we've had so much crap happening that it just has not been possible. But we're here now, and that's the main thing. It's better late than never, and you guys know I always will not let you down. But sometimes life, bad floorboards, cake, and wrestling can get in the way of having to do things when we like. The good news this week is that if all goes to plan, I should be able to record on Saturday and hopefully get it out on Saturday with a little luck. I ain't promising nothing, but I'm going out with said cake on Saturday, so I'm waiting for someone to come and pick me up for that. So once everybody clears out the house, with a little luck, we should be able to record it and get it out on Saturday. Here's hoping. So now we've cleared all that up. Saturday's episode of Thunderbirds was Attack of the Reptiles, and it is the one, if you've stuck around on this channel for a while, you will know I have been waiting for since we saw the trailer for 2.2, and it did not disappoint me. See this face? This was the face that I had on the whole episode. It was so cool. It was a fans episode. Ugh. I can't wait to talk about this. I've been waiting to talk about this for the last 4 or 5 days, because obviously you guys know I take notes on the episode. My top line of this is, I am so excited for this one. Before I'd even watched a minute of it, I was like, we all know, and I hope we all know, it's essentially paying homage to Attack of the Alligators from the original series. Ironically, it was the one that you guys chose me to do before we came back to Thunderbirds Our Go. Very, very odd coincidence there, guys. Oh, by the way, my hair is crap. Look at that, look. Crap hair. I'm only coming on here to do this for you guys. So if we remember the Pendergasts from 1 or 2.1, I have no idea. They're doing another part of their adventure, travel, danger series. And they're taken by a guide into the trees, and they're told not to go to the valley. So we know Ellie and Buddy are going to go in the valley, because when you're told not to do something, we all do it. So they go in the valley and then go missing for 24 hours, and their guide contacts Thunderbirds, or at least he contacts Thunderbird 5 and says, look, they haven't checked in, their cameras aren't right, I'm very, very worried. He does it in an accent. I'm not going to try and replicate the accent. Gordon and Scott go off because they're the only ones in base at the time. We're going to neglect the fact that Alan was the one who did a lot of stuff in Attack of the Alligators, and the fact that there was a guy trying to get the serum and with a gun and blah blah blah. They've made it for kids, guys. So Scott can't land Thunderbird 1 because it's too foggy, too misty, there's trees everywhere. So Gordon goes down, he literally parachutes his way down, gets stuck in a tree, has anything but a smooth exit. Ellie has to save him, which is kind of cool. I kind of like seeing them needing rescuing themselves. It's kind of cute. But Ellie is lone. There's nobody around her, and she's worried and trying to find him. Apparently he got dragged off by these big huge things. So they go journeying off to go and try and find him, and this is when we see the first giant lizard. And some giant tomatoes. The tomatoes were cool. It was clear they were just like normal vine tomatoes that you could get anywhere, but like they're just huge tomatoes. But the lizards, the minute I saw the lizards, I just went, ah! I was literally dancing on the bed I used to have, giggling to myself. It was absolutely hilarious. Those lizards are legendary. They are going to be the most legendary things to come out of Thunderbirds Argo ever. Oh, just that they come out, they get chased, they run, they're trying to find somewhere to go. Scott's going, what's going on? John's worrying as well. And they're just like, we've got like lizards the size of us down here. Set work and CGI banging again. I feel like as well I need to give a massive mention to the camera team who did this episode. I mean, obviously you guys are all the same guys anyway, but whoever came up with doing those quick menacing shots of the reptiles, they turn around and there's suddenly a shot of one of them like that, just looking completely evil. It was just, it was absolute hilarity. It was a genius thing. I know it's a simple thing to just turn around and go, but that was how it was, and it was done in a way that was so funny. You guys were amazing, honestly. Everyone who made this episode, from the writers to set and production design to the lizards who deserve an Oscar and the camera crew, everyone, brilliance. Loved you guys in this one. They eventually take cover, they find a unit, and that is where Buddy is found, sitting in there. I love how they've incorporated Adam Hills being an amputee into the character of Buddy Pendergast. That really does please me, and I think as well it's similar to what CBeebies did actually. We remember when they caused all that hubbub because they had a lady on there who was an amputee with her arm, and that caused, oh, it's gonna scare our kids. No, it's teaching children from a young age that there are differences, that people are not just 2 hands, 2 arms, 2 legs, 2 feet. It can be different. It's not all as it appears to be in life. So the research centre they essentially found is run by something called Orchard Industries. Is Orchard Industries a relevance to anything? Because I know sometimes these things, I know we've had Shadow in the past from UFO. Sometimes I miss these things. So if Orchard is relevant to something, do tell me. It was shut down by the GDF because one of the silent partners of this was the Hood. Now what they were doing was researching this serum that could make things grow rapidly in size, like in Attack of the Alligators, may I just point out. It could greatly increase the size of crops. Now, could you imagine getting a giant tomato? Imagine how long that would feed people for. That would be pretty cool, as we see in the episode with the real yet giant tomatoes. They could have just used a beef tomato, right? That would have been even more cool. That would have been like the size of a massive... Could you imagine a tomato pumpkin? That's what I was just thinking. So now we've got Buddy, Ellie and Gordon all stuck in the research centre. They can't go outside because the lizards have chased them, but they've got to get to Thunderbird 1. Scott still can't land because it's too foggy. They need to get to somewhere with clear land and clear skies so that he can see everything. So the only option to do that is run. Now Buddy luckily has found something that they can use, because they can't, as I said, they can't go outside. So he finds a hoverboat, but it needs fixing. Unfortunately, the only place to get the tool to fix that is below the ground in the research centre, where there's more giant lizards. Who's going to go down there? Lovely Gordon's going down there. So Gordon lowers himself down. It's hooked to something. Buddy's pulling it. But then the metal thing breaks. He goes down, lands flat on his face, grabs the tool. Buddy and Ellie have to distract the giant lizards so that Gordon doesn't get eaten. I'm just smiling at the memory of those lizards now. They fix it, and then it's the lizards are in the ventilation system. They're coming down to get them. They've got to leg it. Coincidentally, this boat has 3 seats. Lovely bit of coincidence there again. So Gordon fixes it just in time. As the lizards come down, they all jump in the boat, they all start jetting off, and it's all going well until a giant tomato is sitting in the way of their lake where they're travelling down. The lizards are in pursuit of them all the time. The boat's kind of going as well as it can. They then have to scale one of the giant tomatoes and go over to the other side where they're thankfully safe. But then they come to like a waterfall. So Scott has to just hot foot in. Thank God Thunderbird 1 can go at, what is it, like 5,000 miles an hour or something like that. He goes and gets them, lowers a net. They all have to jump into a net as the hoverboat falls down the waterfall / ravine. I can't remember what it is. And that's pretty cool, because then you're just hanging on a net being trailed by Thunderbird 1 over a lovely view of scenery. And everybody's safe. Ellie and Buddy are going to make another series of their crazy TV show. Gordon's the #1 fan and very, very happy. What a celery crunch bars. I just had to get that in there. They just sound so gross. And just to end the episode, and just in true Attack of the Alligators form, Buddy and Ellie send Gordon a present. 2 lizards. Just like the pygmy alligator. Do you remember that? Oh my gosh. A brilliant end to a really fun fan-related episode based on an episode that you guys obviously love. Wasn't one of my favourites in the original. I wanted to remake Moving You're Dead. That you guys, if you stuck around here for anything I've done that's Thunderbirds, that is probably one of my all-time favourite Thunderbirds episodes from the original, but I don't know how they're going to do that with a bomb and a gun and a... They'll work it out, I guess, but I would love to see them do that one. So the first sign, and I mentioned it, the first gator we see, sorry, the first lizard we see before 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 hits, I just sat there, I was like, I was giggling before the episode started. The minute I saw it, I went, literally my reaction. I actually considered taking a selfie at the time I was watching it, just to put in the corner, just so you guys could laugh with me. It was literally, my reaction was just like, I smiled for a minute straight while the whole credits were, the whole intro credits were running. Oh, just... I can't get over it. This is my reaction to this whole episode, is just happiness. Midway through this, my comment is, this is literally the best episode ever. I loved it. I'm sorry, I am going to be completely biased. I give this like 9 out of 10. The one mark missing is because they used Gordon and not Alan, and I have to be a little bit, you know, judgmental. And also someone on Twitter was not happy that Virgil wasn't used. He was obviously used in the original Attack of the Alligators episode. And a hoverboat instead of a hover cycle. The one thing I said last week is I hope we get a hover cycle. I'll settle for the hoverboat. That'll do me. No one hit their head, but I'll settle for the hoverboat as opposed to the cycle. That's an acceptable change. I just think these lizards should be given an Oscar. They use the same 2 lizards in the whole episode again and again and again. So the ones you see in the silo research centre, same lizards. The one that are following them, same lizards. The one that go in the water, same lizards. For a little bit more fun, they are called Frank and Fred. I love it. I literally love them. Can I have them? Please, can I have them? They should make figures of those lizards, seriously. Now, if I were Adam Hills and I was invited to be involved with this episode, and I was I don't know if he's an original Thunderbirds fan, I don't know huge great deals about him, I would literally think it was the best thing I'd done in showbiz ever to be involved in this episode. I really, really would. I would be like, that is just the highlight of my career right there. The one thing I hadn't considered with this episode, and I put the phrase modern day fools. Now what I mean by that is when you get people like Francois Lemaire is another one, and Ellie and Buddy, where they're kind of told not to do things, they go and do them and then needing rescuing. I'll bet there's a lot of people like that in the world who take these chances and constantly need constant rescuing. I think it's something, again, that we didn't really see that much of in the original, is things like that, but I suppose the world has taken on such a dramatic turn since the original was made that all these kind of daring shows, stuff like, you know, I mean, I love Bear Grylls and Ed Stafford down to the ground. Ed Stafford's most recent series was just amazing, and I want it back. I know they're filming some more episodes, so great. But, you know, they can care for themselves, but then you get people who know stuff but can't necessarily care for themselves and constantly get them in sticky situations that they need help coming out of. So I like that they do reuse characters at times. I can't tell you how much I enjoyed this episode enough. I actually considered keeping it on my planner just to go back and watch it. But honestly, if you have not watched this episode and you were a fan of the original, this is just an absolute fans episode to me. It is just... it's one of my favourites that they've made to date, and there have been a few I like, there have been a few I haven't liked. I'm not quite sure how I feel about this Saturday's one, with Grandma Tracy taking control of Thunderbird 2 at some point. I don't know how I feel about that one, but this one is literally a high point so far in the series since it's come back. I'm really, really sorry I had to wait for this long to talk to you about it with you guys, but if I have missed anything, any tiny minute details, please bear in mind I was watching this at like 11:30 on Tuesday night. I was tired, so give me a little bit of leeway there. If not, I hope you enjoyed the episode too. Tell me what you thought. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Do what you want. Don't get mean on the channel. I'll hopefully be back on Saturday for another one. And I'll see everyone again for anything else coming. Hopefully we should be able to do a few more quicker videos next week, because obviously I won't be making Cake Mania next week. It will be all various things. Bye everyone.